This lesson has been developed in the framework of SCILED project.
Module 2, Footwear Sustainability Unit 2, Framework for Sustainability Evaluation and Assessment in Footwear. Lesson 2.1. Methodologies and Tools to Evaluate Environmental Impact and Assess Sustainability in Footwear Companies.
This lesson is structured as follows. Definition. The overall vision of sustainability. Sustainability tools. Environmental product declaration.
Definition. Sustainability refers to meeting current needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs, maintaining a balance between economic growth, care for the environment and social welfare. Therefore, sustainability is made up of three factors: environmental sustainability, which is one that focuses on preserving biodiversity without having to give up economic and social progress; social sustainability, whose objective seeks people's cohesion and their stability; and last but not least, economic sustainability, which ensures that activities that seek environmental and social sustainability are profitable. The overall vision of sustainability.
The sustainability of a product is a very complex topic. Generally, when referring to a sustainable product, people refer to a more human, more ethical, greener and more transparent way of making an artifact. The parameters that define sustainability are various and they are hardly categorized in a single folder, with scientific definition. In particular, the entire footwear lifecycle is reconsidered in terms of design, performance and functionality, which is commonly perceived as footwear comfort.
Example of a running shoe life cycle. The figure shows a process tree of the resources and material flows of a Saucony running shoe life cycle. The process tree helps to explore the transformation of resources and materials throughout the life of a product. This information is needed as inputs for methodologies for computing the sustainability of a product. The amounts of these inputs are multiplied by the chemical emissions, land use or resource depletion values collected for each type of material or process. Sustainability tools.
Sustainability can be assessed using different tools. Supply chain management, SCM. IT can be described as planning and control of materials, information flows and logistics activities internally within a company and also externally between companies. SCM focused primarily on material flows. As for the environmental impact assessment, EIA, it is a legal requirement in many countries and describes the environmental impact of a suggested project and its alternatives. The Economic and Environmental Accounting System, SEEA, or environmental audit, aims to analyze economic activity within a nation. And lastly, the Life Cycle Assessment, LCA, is a tool used to assess the environmental impacts and resources used during the useful life of a product, from the acquisition of raw materials to production, use and final disposal.
Supply chain management. In the management of the product supply chain, factors as diverse as the design, planning, manufacturing, storage, distribution and delivery of the final product to the consumer must be taken into account. This whole process includes areas such as industrial engineering, systems engineering, operations management, logistics, purchasing and information technology that must be perfectly interconnected, playing a very important role in all the marketing channels. Supply chain management studies.
Supply chain management is dominated by the environmental approach, with sustainability and social aspects being less considered. Nevertheless, there are important barriers to implementing even these green supply chain management, both in developing countries, financial constraints, insufficient energy and wastage managements, and lack of source of eco-friendly materials, and in Europe, intensive resource use or lousy work conditions.
Methodology of life cycle assessment. Life cycle assessment, LCA, is a technique to assess environmental impacts associated with all the stages of a product's life from raw material extraction through materials processing, manufacture, distribution, use, repair and maintenance, and disposal or recycling. LCA study essentially consists of 4 interconnected steps. Goal and scope definition. The term goal is used to specify the application of the study and the scope prescribes the breadth, the depth and complete details of the study. Inventory analysis. Life cycle inventory, LCI, analysis involves creating an inventory of flows from and to nature for a product system. Input flows refer to the various resources, such as raw materials, energy, land or indeed any factor in the production process. Output flows refer to any sort of emissions to air, water or to land. Impact assessment. Life cycle impact assessment is aimed at evaluating the significance of potential environmental impacts. Interpretation. This step aims to draw conclusions from the study and make suitable recommendations to eliminate the major impacts encountered. Life cycle assessment studies.
As early mentioned, life cycle assessment involves a high number of steps. In consequence, there are no studies of the global process, but studies focused on particular aspects, like energy consumption, impact of harmful materials, or recycling materials. To conclude, the most significant source of environmental impact are the traditional footwear materials.
Additional tools. Additional tools related to sustainability are the ecological footprint, F, robotized solution for roughing the uppers of fashion shoes, and corporate social responsibility, CSR, in the footwear industry. This last technique indicates that financial drivers are paramount toward CSR-based sourcing into existing supply chains, followed by environmental drivers. Also, fuzzy logic reasoning can be applied in decision support system. Meanwhile, environmental risk assessment, ERA, is becoming a legal requisite in many countries.